First, it was 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That's how long it took them cops to suffocate George Floyd. They killed that young man as he was on his way to the library to acquire knowledge, to dig up the archives of truth. And then it was 7 shots to the back. That's how many bullets them pigs put in the back of Jacob Blake. Now we have this. We have this, and I have the story. We have this story right here, guys. We got 6 shots. 6 shots. That's how many bullets this pig put into this young Afro-Latino man. And his last name was Munoz, which proves that he was a minority. He was a part of the tribe of black, brown, and minority and indigenous folks. Look at this. Look what they did to this young man right here. Look.
Coming your way.
Where'd they go? Get back.
Now, what you just saw was the murder of a young man in the community of black, brown, and minority folks being shot, I want to say about 5 or 6 times. That's how many bullets this white racist cop just fired. He fired them rounds at this man. And what was this young man doing? He was just walking down the road. That's all he was doing. He was walking down the road. Let's watch that again, please. What was he doing? He was simply taking a stroll. He was taking a walk. Look. He was going for a jog. Can't you see that? For all we know, he simply wanted to take a stroll down the park with this officer. He wanted just to have a nice jog with this cop. Watch that again. He was just...
Get back.
an energetic, tenacious, a very enthusiastic young man, obviously, filled with positive energy. Now look at this. He was taking a stroll. Now, what kind of a country do we live in when young black men can't even go for a jog? They can't even go for a run without these white cops, racist pigs, going out just shooting unarmed, responsible, professional, respectful young black men. They hunting us down. They hunting us down, guys. Case in point here, let's look to this video, and I think this video is a great demonstration of, officers that are doing it the wrong way, and how when you do things the wrong way, it can escalate the situation to something that is very, very bad, you see. Okay, so let's watch this here. We got 2 white cops.
Ryan Seipel and Seth Kelly. That's Corporal Kelly kneeling to shoot.
Okay, so the officer right here holding up the gun, you see, he's holding up the gun. That is an expression of aggression in my eyes. That's an expression of also oppression, like, hey, black man, I'm a white officer. You better, submit and acquiesce to my demands, and you better just cower on your knees to the sight of me holding up a firearm. I find that to be really an expression of aggression and an expression of just, absolutely out of hand, outlandish, and boisterous behavior. So let's continue watching this now, okay?
Shoot back, taking bullets to the leg and neck before leaping to find cover.
Okay, so he was shot in the leg and in the neck, and it looks like he didn't hit any sort of important arteries in the neck, because, he would be dead by now. So it looks like the African American man holding up the gun, it looks like he showed restraint. He showed restraint. So in my eyes, you know, the African American man in the vehicle here, it looks like he was actually more civil than the two police officers.
A dramatic turn in what began with Clary pulled over for simple speeding.
Okay, so he was stopped for speeding. Now, if a white man was speeding down this road, they would not have stopped him. We all know that. But because he was black, they have to stop him because, well, police officers are simply an extension of a systemic system of systematic oppression against black, brown, and minority folks. Let's continue watching.
You're back? But when the troopers tried to arrest Clary on suspicion of driving while high, he resisted.
Driving while high. I mean, we all know that if white people were smoking marijuana, they would not have stopped him. So, again, this is another demonstration of a system of systemic and systematic oppression and tyranny and despotism on black, brown, and minority people. Again, this goes right back to the Native Indians. We all know that police officers, they come from a system that was first established by the Puritans and the Spanish when they was oppressing brown folks in this part of the world. And we all know that this part of the world don't belong to white folks. It belonged to Native American people, indigenous folks. So Donald Trump should step down from office. I believe he should rescind his presidency and give the seat of the president, give the noble office to a member of one of the indigenous tribes of this country, maybe the Cherokee or the Chinese or maybe the Iroquois or something, maybe the Aztecs. They should be given the White House. I think that would make most sense. But we all know that, you know, the first police officer was the Puritan folks. Those were the first cops, you know. So we have to abolish the whole police system because we all know that it was started on genocide of the Native Indians. So let's continue watching, please. Okay, so it looks like the young African-American man, you know, he obviously was driving to the library to acquire that knowledge. Maybe he was driving to the local community college to study coding or maybe computer programming. Or maybe he was a member of the military, but obviously by the look at his dress code, looks like he's a very responsible man. And the way he ran, looks like he did not want to have any sort of violent interaction with these police officers. He was simply trying to get out of the way. So he was trying to get out the way. So let's continue watching, okay? So they tased this young man as he is running away. He was retreating from the site of conflict here. And it's very, very interesting. Like, if you look at the whole situation, I mean, they tased this young man as he is running. And notice here, there are vehicles on the side of the road. And they is watching this African-American man being brutalized by these two officers. So, you know, it's obvious to me what this is. It's basically a way to humiliate and shame this young man. They're like, we're going to tase you in front of all these here people, and we want them to watch, you know, as a show of force and domination of the oppressive and systemic system being imposed on this responsible, confident, aspiring, young, unarmed African-American man. So let's continue watching.
With a taser, falls into a lane of traffic and writhes on the ground.
The way they be dragging him like that goes right back to the slave trade, because we all know that the slave auctioneers would drag the African American man as they was, you know, after they made their deals and as they was taking them to the one who purchased the slave, they would drag them to the buyer. So that's what that goes back. That descends right back to slave times.
In the struggle, Corporal Kelly's spare pistol somehow tumbles loose, secured by Cypress.
Of course, notice how fast he grabs that pistol, because in his racist mind, he believes the young black man gonna grab the pistol. He automatically assumes black man on the floor, pistol on the ground, he gonna grab it. So that's racism right there. So that's another charge I have against these officers. These officers should be put in jail for racial aggression. Let's continue watching.
For a few seconds, Corporal Kelly appears to be in control.
In control. Notice how the narrator uses these words. These are microaggression words. In control. In control over what? White man in control of a black man. So, yeah, right there, that is That's a sign right there of racism and systemic oppression. So let's continue watching.
But moments later,
Notice how they
the troopers
be
are punching-
beating up this young man. Notice how they be beating him up. They beating him up. This is, oh my God, this is awful. This is like something straight out of one of them movies that I saw on slavery. I don't remember. Armitage or something like that. Amistad. Yeah, this is like straight out of Amistad. Okay, let's continue watching.
and kicking, all but begging Clary to put his hands behind his back.
They did not beg him. You see that right there. They did not beg him. They refused to beg to the black man because they believe they dominating him. That's what that's about.
Somehow he finds his feet again.
Okay, so he finally got back up on his feet, just like us African Americans want to get back up on our feet, and look at what they do to him.
Pistol from his car.
He pulls out a pistol. At this point, this is self-defense as far as I'm concerned. They was beating him. They tased him as he was running away. So this is self-defense. Police officers don't get a pass. They don't get exempt from, the rules of life. And if you're going to beat a young man up, you're going to drag him on the road in front of people, humiliating this young man. If you're going to tase this man, if you're going to stop him for what? For, going 5 miles above the speed limit and smoking some weed? I mean, this is self-defense as far as I'm concerned.
And opens fire before driving off. Corporal Kelly, who applied his own tourniquet.
Okay, so that's it right there. So, yeah, you saw the racism right there. And we saw that with 7 shots to the back. We saw it with 7 shots to the back. And we saw it with 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That's how long it took to suffocate and to asphyxiate that young man, George Floyd. That's my take of the day. We all know that this be racism. We all know that this is what this is, and we be dealing with this every single day on a daily basis, We can't even wield knives in public no more. We can't even wield knives in public. We can't even go for a jog while holding up a knife without worrying about some racist white pigs sticking us with them bullets and sticking us with metal, okay? This is the state of America that we be living in right now. So as far as I'm concerned, burning down people's businesses and destroying property, public or private, it don't matter because it's all owned by the same system that be oppressing us. Or NBA players getting millions and millions of dollars, whether it be that or this or the third, it don't matter. It's all racism. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts for now. So, yeah, you got it. Be well, y'all.